Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're here for a night of magic keys and magical musicians.
It sounded like you said magic, keys. And I was like, I mean, I have keys.
There might be a thing there.
Like I could grab some keys. I don't know what they would unlock right here, but
trademark it right away. Go.
Magic, keys, like we were making a list. The Oxford comma.
Yeah. How can we mess it up even more?
How can we mess it up even more? Use your favorite usage of the comma in the chat at geekscorner.live. And you can go there. Make sure that you use the Oxford comma. It's very important. Grammar's a great thing.
Grammar's great. It's a new show.
Grammar's great. No.
I wonder if that already exists, because that actually is really funny.
Grammar's great. Yeah, of course Grammar's great.
I feel like it's a puppet run show.
Yeah, it's puppet run, but from like a kindergarten or a first grade classroom.
Oh, so like Adam would be the host of it.
Yeah, but I don't know that Adam has great grammar.
Isn't that part of the thing? Is like it'd be Adam who has terrible grammar. No, learning from an adult. It'd be very. Yeah,
make the learner accessible through the puppet.
You know who'd be hilarious with that?
Who'd be hilarious?
You think I'm going to say you, but I'm not.
I didn't think you were going to say me. I'm not that self-centered.
Caitlin would be hilarious at that. she wouldn't know what to do with it. It'd be great. All right, Katie, what should people do tonight?
I already told them. I told them to use the Oxford comma in the chat at geekscorner.live.
All right.
And I already see comma, chameleon.
We do have a special guest that's coming into the show later tonight, and it's my good friend Noah, our good friend Noah, I should say.
We're
all good friends. He got a Dapsy. He doesn't even know what a Dapsy is, I'm betting, but he got one, and we can talk about that when he hops on the show halfway through.
He's a recipient of a Dapsy, of a 2022
very illustrious
Dapsy.
That is correct. But we got him on the show because that's pretty cool if you want a Dapsy and you get to be on the show, which might be a first for a guest. I'm thinking of this, like, people that are a part of the team that have gotten Dapsies have been on the show before, but have we ever had a Dapsy prior winner that's not part of the team on the show before?
Like they got a Dapsy and then they became a guest?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think we have. All right.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean, I did, but I think I'm different.
You were sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, the Hollywood Walk of Dapsies. I like that. Maybe someday. It'll be right outside the studio, right there. That walkway on the other side of the walk. That's funny. Okay. All right. Well, we have finally gotten our answer. Who was correct?
Chris Glass.
Chris Glass, if you were watching tonight, you were closest to guessing when we get a magic key announcement. And by Price is Right rules, he was correct. So he was
Jeff, you were also close, but you were one day late. You guessed the what's today? 16th. So, or no, you guessed the 15th.
Yeah, so we're over. So very close. Nice try. We will get Chris Glass a button or a sticker or something like that and give it to him the next time we see him, which might be not scary for him.
We will probably at Knott's.
Yeah, that's okay. All good. But that was because the announcement for Magic Key renewal came back today. And it is just renewals. If you don't have one yet, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for a different announcement because that is not happening right now. But what is happening is Magic Keys are returning for renewals in about a day and a half.
Backstreet's back. All right.
So should we go through what we got?
Sure.
All right, let's do our fancy dancy, share the screen
I do my little fancy dancy.
Yes.
Okay.
So we no longer have a believe key.
No, we honestly, and as somebody who's watched a lot of Ted Lasso and has a couple believe signs.
Dream key, sorry.
It's dream key.
I was reading believe as I said.
I was going to say, how dare they get rid of believe guy? Something wasn't clicking there.
Okay, so now we have, let's just go through them. Inspire key, $15.99. Yes. This is your new
$15.99. Great.
That'd be wonderful. This is the new version of Dream.
Yeah.
Then it's Believe for $1,099.
Yeah.
Then Enchant for $6.99. Then Imagine for $4.49.
Imagine all the people.
So we basically had a $50 increase for the bottom three. for each of them, and then a $200 increase for the Dream Now Inspire key, which initially when you see that, there's a little bit of sticker shock, but then I started thinking the Signature Plus was $100 more than the Dream key.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to stick with like a regular price increase year by year, it actually balances out to the track it was on before the
only thing
pandemic.
that got me was, I think, 5 or 6 years ago when I got my first Premier Pass,
Mhm.
which was the Both Coast no blockout date pass. I think I paid $1,600 or $1,700, which is very close.
Wasn't that your Premiere?
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. I'm still gonna pay it.
What did you think of all the announcements today?
Here's my takeaway, folks. Here's what it is. I just don't know why they renamed Dream Key. I don't get it.
Do you suppose it was a legalistic thing?
What? We're not allowed to dream legally?
No. If lawsuits might have had any impact on this.
Oh, 110%.
I think that's why
especially
it went
reading
away.
into some things that are in the fine print. Can I say it? Can I say it? Okay. In the fine print, I was like,
I think it's important for people to know. Like, it's
in the fine print, if you buy or purchase or renew a magic key for the Disneyland Resort, you are foregoing your right to pursue legal action against Disneyland.
And I think that's maybe where I've always been wrong on this whole thing. I never realized I had a right to go to Disneyland. I always thought this is just me being maybe a northern Minnesota country boy, but I was like, I can go to Disneyland by spending my money to go there and they let me in. Like, to me, it has always been, it is. I've always felt that, you know, they call us guests, and I've always taken that approach of like, hey, I should be a good guest. I should not upset my host, and I should go have
Mr.
fun
Krabs
there.
Takes his shoes off when he walks in. Like,
I would if they'd let me. Way more comfortable, but yeah, I just think like it's always been like it's private property. It's not like it's a public park.
I just love the idea of somebody copying and pasting the legal contract from last time, and then somebody going, wait.
We need to add this.
Say no takesies backsies. Say they can't sue us. And somebody went, oh, yes. Very smart.
I think it's a very good move.
Especially
because I feel like we probably would have had an answer on what we would have had a whole lot earlier if there was no lawsuit.
I just think it's really funny. It's like, I was gonna say it's like getting married and then being like, but you can't take this back. Like, that's not, you can't do that. Then I was like, that's just called a prenup. That's just keeping all your stuff.
So here's the breakdown of the Magic Keys as they stand now. Well, actually, as of August 19th, when
as of Thursday
they go on, or when the renewals come back. So imagine you can go for 134 days of the year, Enchant 212, Believe 322, and Inspire 353. The lowest one, Imagine, you get 2 reservations at a time, Enchant 4 reservations at a time, and the top 2, 6 reservations at a time. Discounts, cool. I'm just going to skip those. But the interesting thing to me is that the Imagine and Enchant now get 25% off of parking, and they can park in Toy Story.
They can only.
Which I am very disappointed they're giving away my secret, because I love to park in Toy Story.
I know.
And then Believe still gets a 50% discount on that. Here on the website, you can see how many times it takes to recoup prices of tickets for the different passes. You can look at that, helps make a decision. And also you can take into account parking prices we've got up on the website. So you can see 12, 18, and 34 visits are kind of the break-even point of like, hey, I'm going this amount of times. I should upgrade to the next level of a pass.
Yeah.
So honestly, hopefully that's helpful for you.
I show up with my pass, I park, and then I just turn around and go home.
You don't get coffee?
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
I could just park, and then the parking was free, so then I could just turn around and go home.
There you go.
Kidding, obviously.
Obviously.
No, you have to have a reservation to do that. Don't be silly.
So I think, and it's kind of surprising, because I'm not sure I would have said this or predicted that I'd be saying this 2 months ago, is everything that was announced to me today via the website I was like, there wasn't really an announcement. It just showed up on the website as I'm speaking. None of it surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
None of it really like seemed too extreme to me. Like,
Agreed.
yeah, the price, the 200 thing surprised me at first, but then I started thinking more big picture about it. I'm like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's a little bit of a bummer to be blocked out December 21st through January 1st.
That's been
for
such a
the
great
Inspire thing.
time to go.
Yeah.
That's been such a nice time.
And it'll be interesting to see if that changes at some point or not. But no, I like going that week and seeing the big band or the bands for the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I'm cool with it. And I'll be hopefully getting another, I guess, an Inspire key because it's not another one. But maybe they'll just change the name every year and then I'll have a different pass every year.
That would be too confusing. I will say this just made me laugh. Clocky said there isn't a place to get coffee in downtown Disney. No Pizza or Dunkin'. And as Bailey just said, wait, they don't even have a Dutch Bros at downtown Disney. I know, guys. I think that we should make a petition to have somewhere that sells coffee in downtown Disney. I just don't think, I think that's an untapped market,
Sure.
I think that if they were to put like a coffee chain there, I think it could be one of the biggest
It might
in the
do
country.
okay. Yeah.
I think it could be that.
People like coffee in the morning.
It's just a shame
and at night.
They aren't doing that. Or a Stump Town. They could have a Stump Town.
Would be good. The real shame of that is that there wasn't a coffee place like that when I used to drive 100 miles to come here all the time. It opened up afterwards.
Yeah, I know.
So I had to stop at like the gas station every night at 2 a.m.
I mean, I don't know.
It probably would have been closed by then anyway.
Because there is no coffee in
downtown
Disney.
Okay.
There's not even a Joffrey stand. Like maybe Jamba.
They have good vanilla lattes. You're right.
Jamba does sell cold brew.
Oh, there you go.
Enough. That's a fun. Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad that we're all in agreement.
Folgers.
We will all get our Imagine
Maxwell
keys.
House. This is great. All the different coffee brands I haven't thought of in 30 years.
We are all going to get our Imagine keys, and then we're gonna go do like a sit-in in downtown Disney and ask them,
where's our coffee,
to please make a very big and beautiful coffee chain. That'd be very nice.
Okay, I don't know where this show is going.
I also, as Taryn has pointed out,
yes,
there maybe one isn't enough.
Oh, 2.
Maybe.
That's a good idea.
Maybe 2.
I like this idea.
I think that is the real like big brain activities here. Is if you only put one, everyone's going to want to go to that one coffee place.
I'd rather go to the other one.
So said everybody else. If I had $1 for every time I heard someone say I'd rather go to the other one. Anyway, yeah. So Disney, free ideas.
Free ideas. There we go. Let's move on, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about magic keys and coffee?
No.
Okay. Good. I'm glad. All right. Well, let's get to the bulk of the show for tonight. Several years ago, I was at a Christmas party and I met this fantastic guy named Noah, and we ended up becoming buddies and bumped into each other in the parks several times over the last few years. And then he started doing these amazing music videos that really have been a joy to just watch. And we're going to show you a clip that shows a little bit of what he can do. You're going to need to go to his YouTube channel, but we're going to invite Noah on. But check this out first.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right.
It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
DuckTales, woo! Every day they're out there making gummy bears, bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights up for you, ready to begin. Let the wonder take hold, feel it draw you in. your happily ever after. Reach out and find your happily ever after. Reach out and find your happily ever after.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. I think that was the first time I've seen any of my medleys turned into a medley.
You're welcome.
Medleyception.
Did I do okay?
Oh, fantastic. I was engaged the whole time.
I literally was like, I'm just gonna steal all of my favorite versions that you've done of my favorite songs and throw them together. And then there's all the other favorites that didn't quite fit in. So I was like, they can go find them on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for putting that together. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on. So you and I met several years ago at a Christmas party, and we ended up jabbering away most of the night, if I recall. And then we started bumping into each other in the parks, which was great. And I realized as we invited you on here, like, I know your Disney origin story. What's your music origin story that got you to like
Ooh.
piano, singer, songwriter, all that stuff? Because you do a lot of stuff.
Sure, yeah. So for the people that don't know the Disney part of me, very quickly, I did the college program a while back, and then I did the Walt Disney Imaginations competition, and then I got Imagineering and ended up working for Imagineering for a few years now before the pandemic. But for the music, that is a much longer story. I started playing violin and singing when I was 3. I was gonna say, how long do you have? I started doing that and was classically trained in violin.
Do you still play?
I don't. I played from when I was 3 or 4 to like 14.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, I'll get to why. So I was classically trained in violin, and I really wasn't playing. I wasn't learning the kind of music that I liked and that I wanted to do. So I started playing guitar. And then eventually around when I was 10 or 11, I started teaching myself piano because a lot of the music that I like was very piano centric. And then around that same time, I got a teacher who would come to my house and say, what do you want to learn? And that was a concept that I had never had before with violin and choirs and stuff. Right. And so I naturally said Billy Joel and Elton John and Disney songs. And so I would learn those, and I learned them in a way that instead of him giving me sheet music, we would listen to them and we would transcribe them by listening. And so after doing that enough times, I started to notice the patterns in songs and say, oh, well, I can make patterns. And so that's when I started writing and arranging. And I think in 7th or 8th grade was the first medley I had ever performed, and have not stopped since, and recently started putting them on TikTok and YouTube and whatnot to and have found an audience, which has been nice. You know,
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I've been very fortunate that a bunch of the medleys have garnered over 1 million each on TikTok. YouTube keeps me humble because every time I see a medley, like a medley will get 1 million, 1.5 million, I go to a YouTube channel, I guess like 500. And I'm like, okay, it's fine.
It's so fun to watch you on TikTok. And I feel like I've seen most of your videos first there or on Instagram.
Sure.
But then I like really want to see them and hear them. So then I go to YouTube because the quality's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you would just think people would do that, but I don't know.
I'm happy people see them either way.
Yes, that's what matters.
Well,
and
that's what was funny was I was scrolling TikTok and I was watching and I was like, wow, this is so fun. And I went to send it to Mr. Daps and I had this moment of, wait, we know him. Like, very just absurd moment of, wait, I was sitting here just enjoying this content before I realized I knew this person. And now it's kind of a thing where we just send each other videos kind of back and forth. Like, well, did you see this one? Most recently, I think this was a couple days ago, you just sent me the Bo Burnham medley.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're just sending me things that I like at this point.
Yes.
Which is great. It seems like we have very similar taste with what the things that you put out.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, it's always so fun to just like be scrolling and going, oh hey.
Oh, thank you. A lot of people have told me similar stories where I have just popped up on their feeds because we're all in that like Disney musical theater. You know, TikTok is so good at finding your particular audience, and so I will. I've jump scared people with my face sometimes.
Well, that'll be fun to look forward to for Halloween.
Watch out.
Oh, good. So the reason you ended up on this specific night is, as we saw in the beginning of this little medley, is you did a Muppets medley.
Yes,
and,
indeed.
And we were talking before the show how we're all huge Muppet fans, and we could probably do an entire multi-hour episode of the three of us talking about Muppets, but we won't do that to you guys tonight. What I will do tonight is, how do you come up with the, I guess, what's the starting point and the end to the ending point of coming up with one of these medleys? Like, how do you decide, hey, these are the songs that make it, these are the order they're going to go? Like, what's your process?
Sure. Well, the entire process from start to finish takes about a week, which I'm in the process of doing it right now. Just finished writing one about 2 hours ago.
Nice.
I wanted, because I'm a Disney fan and a musician, I tend to think of and look for topics that are really specific that may not have been showcased before. You know, we all see and we've all appreciated the princess medleys on YouTube and the I Want song medleys on YouTube, but I really wanted to create obscure Disney song medleys or park specific medleys. And so that's how that all started in terms of how I choose topics. It's just what I, as a rabid fan, would want to see and want to. I'm going to interrupt myself to say I like viewing them as, I like framing them as a challenge. I like saying the word obscure or deep dive because we are a very competitive fan base and we like to say, oh, you know, I know this or I know that. And so it's really fun to go down those rabbit holes and to really say, oh, here's the Astuter Computer Review song from Epcot, but that's never been in a medley before. And here's the Big Thunder Mountain song that they like only used for the opening of the ride, but you haven't heard that in a medley before. And it's just,
well, and I'm seeing in the chat, there's a request for the Boatniks medley.
You never know. You really never know.
Honestly, you would get so many brownie points from me if you worked Boatniks into anything.
Boatniks or Follow Me Boys?
It gets, Follow Me Boys, but all those old Disney live action.
Yeah. No, there are categories and
they're the ones that aren't on Disney Plus yet.
Right. It'd be a very specific medley. Well, that's the fun thing actually about TikTok is you think that you're making something that's so specific that you're going to
go too far.
You're going to go too far. You're going to, you know, people aren't going to relate anymore because it's too specific. But for some reason, the way TikTok's algorithm finds you an audience, it does the exact opposite. And some of the most specific medleys have been the most successful. And people have, you know, I did a, I don't remember which medley it was. There's been a lot of them at this point, but one of them had the Goodbye song from Bear in the Big Blue House in it. And that song there was like 20 songs in the medley, but that song in particular really like struck a chord with people. And it's really fun putting them together to see which songs end up resonating with people because they haven't heard a lot. The Ugly Bug Ball was another one that people just were like, oh, I haven't heard that in 15 years, you know,
probably
type
since
of
that
thing.
collection CD from like the 90s.
Yeah, that's half of my research is just those CDs from my childhood.
Those are so good. So then you pick your obscure songs. Like, is there a certain way that you're like, hey, this is the way that makes sense to me to put them in order? Like, or do you literally put dots on a wall or?
So sometimes it's lyrics and sometimes it's music. For the lyrics, it's a bit more direct. Um, if one song ends with a word that another song starts with, that's like a gift from above. But it's a lot of finding similar syntax. Interestingly enough, like I don't think I'm spoiling anything. I'm working on a Disney Channel theme songs medley right now,
Love it.
Ooh.
and I'm looking at the sheet music. There's a American Dragon Jake Long going into Dave the Barbarian, which again, both rather obscure.
Great hits.
And forgive me for having like 3 words at a time. The American Dragon Jake Long song speaks in like he's this, he's that, he's the American Dragon, and then Dave the Barbarian starts with he's Dave the Barbarian, and so you can really smooth things out by finding grammatical with just like your comma conversation. See where these are callbacks. These are great.
Yeah, love it.
And then musically, it's kind of a similar process but more abstract because it's music. You find songs, a lot of songs I am transposing from
Right.
various keys, putting them together in the same key or a
Do you have a favorite
key.
key that you're playing / singing in as I go a little bit nerdy?
I try not I don't know if I've succeeded. I haven't really looked back, but I try to not write the medleys in the same keys as each other. Sometimes for simplicity's sake, I will start writing in C, and then once I get more of the medley done, I'll be like, okay,
This feels good.
let's move it somewhere that's not C, because we all like C. It's nice, comforting, but yeah, I really just kind of put the songs together based on lyrical similarities or musical similarities or like a fun. You either go for the similar route or the jump cut route. There's a few times where you can't really transition from one song into another, so you just do full stop and you just go into a song and you're just like happy with it. I'm doing all 3 of those tactics in the one I'm doing now.
Love it. So I got one other question about the music.
Please do.
You're talking about transcribing. Like, are you actually writing out the notes on lined paper, or are you writing chords, or like what is your
So I would love to have sheet music for all of these.
Sure.
At the moment, I'm just writing lyrics with chords.
Okay. I mean, that's what I would do too. But
yeah, because by the nature of me coming up with it, I know how it goes.
Yeah.
I can't say that for everything I've ever written, but for these medleys, as you just kind of sit with them and kind of micro adjust things, I get very comfortable with it very quickly. So I can just have chords. But when this business is huge and booming, I'll have sheet music for everything. But for right now,
but then you'll pay
chord
somebody
sheet.
else to transcribe it for you then, right?
That's right. I would love. I'll have a whole team working on it.
I was gonna say, having done that before, that can be very tedious.
Yes, I would have somebody else do.
In my younger days, I did some stuff like that, and it was not my favorite thing to do in the world. Even worse on a computer in some regards. One little thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we are starting to run out of time, which means you get fast 5. We're going to ask you 5 questions really fast.
All right.
And basically, first thing that comes. Oh, Chris hopped on. You won, Chris. You get to answer as quickly as you can possibly think of, and then we'll see where this goes. All right, you ready?
I've never been more ready.
I am so glad. Katie, do number 1.
Favorite Disney attraction?
Haunted Mansion.
Great.
Which one?
Oh, good question.
The Walt Disney World one, as soon as you enter the building.
Ooh, okay.
I prefer the facade in California, but as soon as you enter the building, Walt Disney World.
Okay, keep going, Katie.
I respect that. Favorite Disney character?
Donald Duck.
I love Donald. Favorite Disney theme park?
theme park, like in general theme park. Oh, Disneyland park, if I must.
I love the proper titling. Disneyland.
Yeah.
I love that. Favorite Disney song?
Oh, that's just mean.
I know.
It is.
Here's the thing: is they're not
right.
exclusive to you.
Okay. I am it's fast, so I am going to say I mean, I like Never Had a Friend Like Me. It's just such a good
good
song.
choice.
Or Be Our Guest. I mean, they're both, again, I've talked so much about how I love obscure and none of these overdone songs, and then I just come out with the two most
That are used
songs.
everywhere.
But they're good. They're used for a reason.
They're used for
They're,
a reason.
they're so good.
Yep. I mean, Under the Sea would be right after that, right?
And the
Right.
last one, what is your favorite Disney movie?
Can I give multiple?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, in no particular order. The animated Beauty and the Beast, Toy Story 2, and live action Pirates. Probably, I have to say 2.
Okay.
Which I know is not necessarily the most popular opinion, but I love Pirates too.
Very cool. Well, we are now in a part of the show we call Geeks Corner Plus because we've gone over our 30-minute mark, and you know everybody added a plus to something, so we might as well.
Added a plus.
So in the chat, this is your chance. If you have any questions for Noah, if Noah is willing to answer them, since we're keeping him a little bit longer than we planned, ask us questions for Noah in the chat, and we will try to make sure that he sees them and can answer them. And I do see one already, which is an easy answer for you, I think. But is there a Rides of Yesterday medley already?
There is not a medley of only Rides of Yesterday. Rides of Yesterday and defunct rides are featured in a few of them. A lot of the Epcot medley has songs that are no longer, or attractions that are no longer. And the very first medley I did, which was just a more kind of general parks medley, also has some of those. But it's not a bad idea. I may, it may end up reusing some songs like a Veggie Fruit here, or you know, Tomorrow's Child there.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's just right.
Living in the Land, does that count?
It's not played in the ride currently, so I'd say it counts. Yeah,
like that's, I don't know. I just feel like it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's my favorite. All right, we got more questions. Otherwise, we'll just keep going. Favorite Disney afternoon theme song?
Again, I'm gonna be basic and just say DuckTales. I mean, it's so good, and it's got 2 key changes in it.
And it's also the correct answer.
It's true.
Oh, okay, good. I did in my research, because I am slightly too young for the Disney afternoon. I really enjoy the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers theme song.
It is very fun.
I never watched it. I was just a little too young for that, but that's a good theme.
I would say the bulk of my childhood indoctrination of Disney came from the Disney afternoon, because we didn't live near a Disney theme park, and I was the perfect age for it. All right, next question. Favorite Muppet? That's a hard one.
I mean, so I'm gonna just start with I Love Kermit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to dive deeper than that, because that is what I tend to do, See, I'm trying to think without allowing there to be any dead air.
That's the trick.
Because I know how this works.
You know the 4-second rule.
I have a poster of Muppets over there. That doesn't help. They're all famous. I also really like Dr. Teeth. He amuses me. He makes me smile. And all the lyrics in Can You Picture That, as Taryn, my girlfriend, has pointed out, they're nonsense. Have you ever looked at the words of that song?
Yeah.
It's gibberish.
It's amazing.
It's just phrases that rhyme. That's the only qualification.
I would love to have been in the room when it was written.
Me
Like,
too.
you know, they were just having a blast. Like, I would love to get into any part of the Muppets mayhem somehow, since that's also connected with him a little bit. But yeah, that would be incredible. All right, we got another question for you. Is there any song that you love but haven't yet found the right medley for? I bet there's
Oof.
a ton.
The short answer is yes. Actually, remembering them all is the more challenging part. The one that had the most that ended up being cut were the two that were formatted as A to Z. And so you have one song
Yeah.
in each slot letter of the alphabet. And there were a few that I had like 3 or 4 songs for each letter and just love. Like T, I think, had a few good ones, and I ended up using To Infinity and Beyond from the Toy Story Cruisicle.
Nice.
But I grew up with To Infinity and Beyond from the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV show
I was hoping you were gonna say that.
/ Toy Story 2 album CD that it's this really obscure second completely different song, also in the Toy Story universe, also called To Infinity and Beyond, that I wish I had gotten to use, but the other one it's just more dramatic and fit more. So
Fit better.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do one that you can choose to answer or not. What's your cool thing you did at WDI and WDI in relation to a Mr.
From
Holland?
someone named Terry.
Yeah,
someone-
that is a I let the record show I didn't ask Taryn to ask. I was this is not proprietary now.
Okay,
Since
then we're fine.
The attraction has opened, but I was the stand-in / body double for our dear friend Tom Holland for the Web Slingers attraction as they were working on the special effect for the pre-show. I met the same body proportions and had acting training that I got to be. I called it Beater Barker instead of Peter Parker. I got to be the internal face of Spider-Man for about a year and a half, and it was a wonderful time and a great way for people who didn't know you before to walk by your desk and go, "Oh, he's Spider-Man."
Thanks.
Little J. Jonah Jameson.
That definitely let me meet more people that way.
That is pretty awesome. Well, thank you, Noah, for hopping on Geeks Corner tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you. I'm just going to leave you on through the end of the show as we talk
thank
about
you.
everything else.
Can I say one thing?
Please do.
When you said this show was about magic keys, I was fully expecting you for saying it was about magic keys and about magic keys because like a piano music.
I totally.
And you guys were talking about it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, it's coming, and then it never happened.
Missed opportunity.
Majorly missed opportunity. Oh man, that should have been.
I'm so sorry. I just needed to.
You know what? Geeks Corner's canceled.
I mean, honestly, that was the title. I didn't have to have the little whatever. Yeah. Oh well.
Next time, I'll come back. We'll do the exact same thing again. Same questions, same everything.
Well, you know, actually, if you would like to do, we could do something special. So someday you should come to the studio.
I'd be happy to.
We have a shared passion of a musical instrument. And that is one that's Katie's favorite as well.
Oh no! Oh no!
And that is the melodica.
Yes.
And I guarantee the chat will totally agree with us that we should have a melodica duet. We'll be our own little like geeky melodica men, and we'll play for Katie.
I couldn't be more excited.
Me too. I'll just have to
Melodic
like
misadventures.
practice. That's the title of the episode. Remind me of that. That's great.
Siri, remind us.
Listen,
691
I'm just shelling out these ideas for you.
for free.
You realize that's how these things normally just go. Like we never know what's going to happen. But thank you for being here. Anybody that's watching, if you haven't done it yet, you can still sign up for our Chalk Walk team by going to chalkwalk.org/dapsmagic, and you can support the kids that are going to Chalk and all of the good that they do for the Children's Hospital of Orange County with this event. And it's on the 27th
It's a week
of
and a half
August, a week
away.
and a half away at Disney California Adventure. It's going to be a blast. So either sign up for our team, or if you'd like, support one of us. You can find all of our names there. And that would be a fantastic thing to do. But Katie, we're running out of time. What should people do?
Go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and find our Patreon.
And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a ton of videos going up, and we'll have full coverage from D23 Expo in what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. It's coming faster than we can imagine, and there's Muppet stuff there too. So
signed up for all
that's
my
going to be a lot of fun. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.